Hi, I'm Magdalen Rose. I think it's a pretty common experience among gamers to have to explain to a loved one just what a let's play is. Okay, so I'm watching someone else play a game. Do you know them? No. Do you have that game? No. Or maybe yes. It's a show of the game. Right. Why don't you just play the game? Well, why don't we just play the game? The title Let's Play first originated on the forums for a website called Something Awful and is usually attributed to a user called Slowbeef. It was a 10-minute video for The Immortal for the NES. This is probably not the first time that someone recorded themselves playing a video game and then uploaded it somewhere, but it does seem to be the first time it was called a Let's Play. Let's Plays are distinct from game reviews, which started more around 2004 with James Rolfe as the angry video game nerd and exponentially deteriorated from there. Great stuff, superior content. People who don't watch Let's Plays tend to see them as just vacuous crap clogging up the internet. Hell, I think of them that way and I like them. And even stranger, it's common for people to just put them on in the background while they're doing other things, so you're not even watching someone else play a game. So why? I think there are three distinct reasons that people love Let's Plays, but first some honorable mentions. One is practicality. You're stuck in a game, a Let's Play can serve as a tutorial, but that's more like reading instructions, it's not entertainment. The other is saturation. This reason accounts for its popularity among younger people. By the time they came around, it was just sort of part of the landscape of the internet. Young people, on average, will just consume whatever media is around and assume it's normal. It's why 90s kids would watch I Love Lucy, because it was on Nick at Night, and I was trying to stay up late enough to watch imported anime on the Sci-Fi Channel. This is their normal, but it wasn't our normal. So how did millennials make the jump from playing games to watching others play games for entertainment? One might suspect the obvious. Game, good. I look at game. And that's a perfectly valid answer. I could end this video right now. But no, as I have a pathological need to deconstruct everything, which to be honest is probably anxiety related, but enough about me. Number one is cost. Millennials really got the short end of the stick. Most of us came of age after baby boomers and Gen X made a lot, and I mean a lot, of really poor financial decisions, causing us to start off our careers during one of the most destructive economic declines since the Great Depression. Millennials statistically make less money and have less assets overall than our parents did at the same age. My point is, we're broke, and games cost money. For me personally, I had consoles all the way up from the Nintendo Entertainment System to the PS2, and then I moved out. And if I wanted the newest console, it was coming out of my pocket. When the PlayStation 3 was released in 2006, it was $499.99. Literally $500 fucking dollars. So for some scale, my rent in 2006 was $525, and I was cleaning college dormitories for a living for $7.25 an hour. So no PS3 for me. In 2008, I was able to buy a used Nintendo DS Lite, and that was the last time I could afford a console. Which, by the way, was an amazing purchase. Like, I hacked this thing with an R4 card to play MP3s, and I used it every day for years. That was 12 years ago, and look, it still works. Number two is nostalgia. Now, you might think this one is obvious. Watching someone play a game you remember fondly from childhood. Game, good. I look at game. But the feeling of nostalgia actually penetrates a little deeper than just the game. Growing up usually involves having to put aside your hobbies and focus more on work. At least when you live in a dystopia. A lot of people experience a fleeting time somewhere between high school and the end of college that's rarely ever experienced again. Like you're old enough that your parents aren't really telling you what to do anymore, but you still haven't fully left the nest. It can be years or even just one summer, but it's a time of unique freedom. And according to my recollection, at least, a lot of this time was spent sitting around with friends playing video games. There were multiplayer games, but in general, you spend a lot of time watching your friend play a game. I realized this after experiencing a really intense bout of depression a few years ago. The only thing that comforted me, of all things, was the game grumps. And this wouldn't work with just any Let's Play. There was something specific about the grumps that helped, and I finally realized what it was. Danny and Aaron reminded me of my friends. Their accents, the content, the sense of humor, everything took me back to a brief window of time when the world felt truly limitless. I think that Let's Plays help us, in a way, relive a chapter of our lives that's forever lost. God, this got heavy. Commercial break. Okay, everyone, so if you like this sweatshirt that I've been wearing in this episode, I got it at popkiller.com, and I think it's really awesome. But they're also doing a special right now for COVID-19 relief, where 20% of their profits go to COVID-19 relief. It's pretty self-explanatory. But I really enjoy this sweater, so I wanted to give them kind of a plug and support their charity thing. Yeah, I'm great at this. Heck yeah. Okay. I'll put a link in the description. Back to regularly scheduled program. But there is, of course, one other reason. Reason 3. Something I took for granted about being young was how small my world was. Like I just had to worry about myself and whatever petty dramas my friends were getting into. But at some point, your life just splits open and the whole world comes pouring in. Suddenly, there's so much more to think about, and it's all 100 times more pressing than anything you were thinking about before. Can I still pay rent this month if I buy this thing? How do I do my taxes? Do I really have to separate my whites from my colored clothes, or can I just put them in together? Has this mole always looked like this? It's exhausting. And before, video games were something I could do to relax, to just forget my troubles and enjoy myself. But that was before. The hustle. That ghostly presence that haunts us all. It's that specter that floats in the moment you sit down to enjoy a hobby and whispers.
What's your side hustle? Can you monetize this? Aren't you just wasting time you could be using to diversify income streams? Bill Gates started his business in his garage. You could do that. Why aren't you doing that?
The anxiety of doing something that's simply for pleasure, that does not offer the possibility of future income, is just too overwhelming. And I quit the game. Most of the time, I don't even get that far. I know it sounds crazy, but the hustle makes me too stressed out to relax. So watching someone else play a game while I'm frantically trying to captivate my social media demographics for optimal audience engagement, I feel like I'm relaxing. I mean, I'm totally not. I'm in a frenzied scramble to cling to the economic terrain crumbling under my feet, but I can convince myself in the moment that it's 2005 and I'm just hanging out with my friends and everything is gonna be okay. Wow. Did not anticipate that being the frightening stare into the abyss it ended up being. I just wanted to talk about video games. Well, the good news is that Let's Plays are not just vacuous crap clogging up the internet. It turns out that they're a merciful distraction from a sometimes unbearable existence. I hope you enjoyed my video on why we love Let's Plays. In the comments, please let me know who you think are the most underrated Let's Players. Until next time, team.